Hello and welcome to Market TV. I am Dorian Flannan. This week we are discussing a crucial subject in the business world: branding. Beyond logos and slogans, branding is the heartbeat of a business. It builds trust, influences consumers' choices, and shapes market dynamics. Over the next 4 to 5 minutes, we'll explore this fascinating topic with insights from an experienced brand expert, a leading economist, and a seasoned business owner, alongside perspectives from our vibrant social media audience. We are beginning with Mr. Dada Frederick, an experienced brand expert joining us from Lagos. Hello, Mr. Dada. Welcome to Market TV.
Thank you for having me here with you.
It's a delight.
I hope I'm able to learn from the audience too. Thank you.
All right. Yes, you will. So let's begin. With over 30 years of experience, how has branding evolved from when you started to today's digital era?
First, my name is Dada Ajayi Hile. While I was my early years of primary schooling, I was known as Frederick. But by university days, I had to adopt a middle name, which is Dada. I read theater arts, so I became more Afrocentric. So I emphasize more of Dada than Frederick. But on my profile, I add also that those who knew me across all the schooling period will know that it's one and the same person. So we are talking about personal branding. Now to your question. In the past 5 years and 30 years, branding used to be known basically as marketing communications. Then way back then, the idea of branding or brand was just maybe the product. It was more foreign. But over the years, and maybe in the recent 20 years, 2 decades, branding has come to the fore. And I must say that I was one of the a member of the 3-member team that started this branding thing. That was with on the platform of USP Communications. That was in 1998, or thereabouts, to 2004 when I had to move on to other things. So back to branding. Yes, branding used to be known as marketing communication and consisting of the different channels of creating awareness, managing consumer perception, and then influencing a purchase decision and sustaining how the consumer or the customer perceives a product or service. But over years, of course, it's been known more as branding. And I dare say that, just like you said when you said before you threw your question at me, branding is much more than the visuals or the lovely fine designs. Branding is supposed to like a personality of a product or a service. It's taking that a product or service like a human being with its own personality. You can now choose to say you want your brand to be perceived as strong, brave, daring, innovative, truthful, virtuous, knowledgeable, thought leadership, such qualities that you believe you want the audience to perceive of your brand are things that you write, design, or create or associate into your brand. And over time, it becomes what the brand is known for. That is part of branding. So it's beyond just visuals or the fancy words or copy. It also includes a lot of other things. Consistency also in your claims. And then the fact that the consumer goes to purchase the product or service and then discovers that, yes, you are true to your claims, gets the value or the benefits that were promised before they took that purchase decision. That's basically we're talking about branding. Of course, branding also applies to the human beings. Individuals. Corporates too. How you want to perceive your insurance company to be seen, your bank to be seen, your even your government as a politician to be seen. All of that. evolves or contribute to what we can refer to as branding. It's a process. It's not. It's a process, and it's also a destination. It's an ongoing thing. It's not something that and then shifts are allowed, and then responses to what the market is saying are also allowed, or challenges in the economy are also allowed. I think I will just stop there, and then we'll move on to other questions.
All right. So, what are those common mistakes branding? Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
All right. So, what common branding mistakes do businesses still make today, and how can they be avoided?
Yes, and one maybe I was supposed to conclude my answer with this, that over the last 10 years or more, the technology and the digital media uh, come to influence branding. So beyond the traditional channels, you now see digital marketing, you see digital platforms, you see technology being used to also brand. And now to the question you just asked, the common mistake, like back to my answer, there is always this assumption who wants to do a fine design, lovely colors, or maybe when you get a fine face for an influencer, or one of these a selling a successful actor, and then associate that actor with your product or service, then if you think you're doing branding. No, I think it goes beyond that. Like I said, branding also involves association. So apart from the visuals, apart from the nice colors, the words that are spoken, it also involves being true to your claims. The consumer will, of course, it will be quite terrible if a consumer goes to decide to patronize your service or buys a product and discovers that what you put outside there on the billboard are not what, or is not what he or she is experiencing from your service. Take for example, a consumer is interfacing with at the end of the marketing line, maybe a salesperson, and the experience that he gets or she gets is different. Yes, now we're talking about how does the consumer experience the brand. So the common mistake that businesses make is thinking that just having beautiful designs, having fantastic copy that you say, oh, this must have taken a lot of thinking before somebody comes up with it. It goes beyond that. It involves consistency, it involves transparency, it involves what the consumer experiences through your brand. Basically, a brand it promises benefits, and then promises attributes. Like, so somebody buys a luxurious car like a Benz or a BMW, it's because the person wants that BMW or Mercedes Benz to illustrate the status that he wants to push out there. So that Mercedes Benz, must deliver on that. If somebody goes to buy maybe a truck to do his business, because he believes that that truck will deliver that efficiency that he needs to move his goods from point A to B. So all of this must deliver. So it is not just what to put out there. It is the experience that the consumer receives, when purchasing. So quite some businesses make that mistake and think that it all ends with fancy words,
Okay.
fancy designs. So
Okay. All right. Good one. What roles does storytelling play in branding? And how can brands effectively craft stories that resonate with their target audience?
the interesting thing about storytelling is that as Africans we love stories. I mean, we're brought up with stories by moonlight, under the moonlight, and stuff like that. So storytelling drives good branding, and then of course staying consistent to whatever story has been told in the past. Then of course with time, as the story evolves, as the brand grows, you keep evolving and keep growing the story. So that way the consumer has that, the audience has that buying and that loyalty along the way. So yes, storytelling has played some massive role in advertising, in PR, in all the forms of marketing communication. We of course come together into to drive the process of branding.
All right, so what metrics or indicators do you consider most important when evaluating a brand strength and effectiveness?
Well, this is basically a research and well, it consists of constantly doing research into your brand's health,
Okay.
maybe your brand's awareness, and then of course your brand's perception. Perception is different from awareness. Awareness, you created the awareness, but how do the market perceive your brand? Do they perceive your brand as truthful? Do they perceive your brand as our own, or as foreign? Do they perceive your brand as affordable? Do they perceive your brand as
Okay.
delivering on the promise that you made? Yes, those are the metrics that would you deploy the health check. That is done. As often as possible, as often as required. The perception in measurement, and then of course the awareness, and then of course the share of voice. What share of the market in terms of voice does your brand have? These are things that you keep getting because you are competing with other brands in the market. So it's like checking. It's like going to check, doing a check on a child, or somebody's son or daughter. Often you do a health check. You do what do people think about the product out there or the service out there, and so that when you get these results, it helps to us keep fine tuning. We're getting customer feedback from out there. So these are some of the metrics that should be that are deployed to check on a brand's lifespan over time.
All right, sir. What branding strategies would you recommend to businesses trying to recover or reposition after a crisis or setback?
Yeah, I think one to come out, be open, be accurate in the information you are giving out. It's important that you quickly get the empathy of the market, of the audience out there. So you should be seen to coming out and being truthful, and then of course stating out the measures that they are put in place to address the issues that led to the crisis, and then at each point then lay out milestones, and these milestones share with the market or the audience, and each milestone that you attain or you achieve, share the information with the audience, so that over time, whatever trust, whatever damage was done will be addressed over time, but we want to be consistent in that, and then possibly also even carry the audience or your market along in addressing those issues each time. Whatever remedial or corrective measure you have, you propose or you promise to put in place, each time is done, try to have a member or some members, some part of the your market or your target audience as part, even as part of the implementation process, possibly,
Okay.
and then measurement too, so that they then it means that the feedback, your audience, those people now be speaking for you, to their peers about,
Okay.
oh, this has been addressed. Truly, yes, they are working at it, that kind of thing. So that's it
Okay.
for now.
Okay. All right. Before I leave you, sir, looking ahead, what trends or innovations do you see shaping the future of branding over the next decade?
Well, I see, of course, I see more of technology application. That is, we can't avoid. We are in it. So at best we will try to get the best out of it. I see more of digital marketing trends. See more of AI driven or AI powered innovations. But also importantly, I also see more of ethical checking the ethical practice or application of some of this innovation, over time, so that as much as we say technology is good, sometimes the application can have its negative side. So the ethical application of this innovation, this technology, will also be a key factor, going to the future.
All right, that'll be all. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. Your insights have truly shed light on how branding shapes business success.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right,